Hi everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel, and if you're listening in the podcast, thank you so much for being here. It is Monday, June 26, 2023. I'm here to give you a follow-up video on the missing Titanic submarine, and that happened just over a week ago, and we all know the sad news that came from that, right? So we all know that everybody that was on board that submergible Titanic submarine passed away after it was confirmed last Thursday that debris was found of the vessel, I guess you can say, right? And I just want to say prayers to everybody involved, friends and family. I can only imagine seeing everybody who was on board, all of them, the five of them, um, right, at least maybe I can say maybe the four of them that were really looking forward to getting into that vessel, and then to see the outcome of that. That only can tell you how vulnerable we are, right? And before I continue, the reason that I say that only the four of them was that after everything happened and we hear testimony of people who knew the father and son that were on board that ship, on board that submarine vessel, I gotta say, how they say that Suleiman, the youngest person in that vessel, just 19 years old, he actually only went because of he was trying to please his father and do type of advantage type of outing on Father's Day, right? So it wasn't really his thing, right? He basically, from what they're saying, friends and family, they're saying he was just trying to, to please his dad, right? Just please his dad. It's Father's Day. I'll go with you, and I know this is probably your dream. I'll just go with you, dad. So prayers for everybody involved in this. We have to understand, after the headlines fade out, after nobody's talking about it anymore on the news and no more breaking news and things like that. At the end of the day, guys, these are families and sons and fathers and uncles and nephews that were involved in this, that lost their lives. So it is so sad, right? And the surprising thing about this whole thing, this is why I'm making this video, is that, like I said, this happened about a week ago. Just it was just a week ago, yesterday, Sunday, and now we have a full-on interview from the mom, and the mom of Suleiman, and her name is Christine Dawood, right? Her husband Shazada and her son Suleiman were on board the Titan submersible that was lost on the sea. I mean, that obviously we know the outcome of that went down to see the Titanic, and we know the outcome after they heard an explosion. And we also learned, I just gotta make a parenthesis here, that um, they also learned that there was noises heard that same day that this submersible went down, right? So we learned the news of this some type of catastrophic explosion that happened. It was confirmed to the media this past Thursday at 3 o'clock. I remember this whole news conference was being announced, right? I'm sure everybody knows if you follow this. And they were saying that throughout the day, they have so and so many hours of oxygen left, right? But later on, it was confirmed that Ashley and Christine, also the mom, confirms that that Sunday, when they went down, not many hours after that, they actually lost contact with the submersible, right? And the communication was lost, right? So there was a problem from the get-go, right? And it's just so crazy. I don't know why they don't come clean on this, right? And I understand they have to but how do you say, notify friends and family and things like that, but you have the whole world, counting, so many hours of oxygen left, so many days. And I know hope is the last thing you lose, but from what we know now, right? I mean, I told you guys I was praying for them. What we know now is that there was an issue right from the get-go, right? Right on Sunday, on Father's Day, there was an issue. They lost communication with the submersible, and they had the family kind of waiting, and they gotta see, and and she says in the interview, I'm gonna see if I can post a little bit of the interview. So if you're listening on the podcast, I'll suggest for you to come here on YouTube and look at this video, right, so you can hear the whole thing and see her speaking about it. But she actually gives insight of how it was told to her, and when did it happen, when she was told about what happened. Like I said, this is something that is really, let me see, this is raising a lot of red flags, because if this was not approved 100% from the authorities, and for them to still be able to charge people $250,000 to go down to see the Titanic, even though it wasn't fully approved by authorities. Like, what is going on? How is this even allowed? And people say money buys everything. How is this even allowed? Like, aside the fact that Ocean Gate is 100% responsible, who gave the okay to Ocean Gate to proceed without being fully approved, right? So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of investigation here. There were some rumors that came out also about the filmmaker Abby Jackson, saying how she was missing. And Abby Jackson has a lot of insight about this whole thing, right? Abby Jackson, in case you didn't know, is a 22-year-old filmmaker that just graduated college in May and was hired to go for 2 months with Ocean Gate to document everything as they use a submarine once again to go down to see the Titanic, right? And Abby Jackson, just like any other 22-year-old right now, has a TikTok account that, after this whole thing happened, has gone viral. And this blogger filmmaker, right, who is using her passion for filming, right, and being given this great opportunity and being paid for that, right, because that is her craft, right, that is her career, I guess you can say. What a great opportunity for her, just right out of college, right? And she basically documented a lot of stuff. So that's another thing. If you want to know more about this case, go ahead and search for Abby Jackson TikTok account. You'll see so much behind the scenes of what, to get kind of like a little bit of an insight of what this life aboard this ship that was gonna, by Ocean Gate, was gonna, uh, basically everybody that was there was in the with the same goal to once again take this trip down this doomed Titanic. And I'm never gonna get tired of saying it. Titanic was over on their first trip, okay? A lot of people have these passions for things that, you know, that were done on their first voyage, I guess you can say. All this amount of money spent on building the Titanic, and look how Titanic ended. We learned so much from that, right? At the end of the day, everyone, if you're listening, watching this, money is not everything in life. At the end of the day, we're just so vulnerable when it comes to life and living, right? That's why we need to get closer every day to Jesus. Nothing is more certain in life than a relationship that you have with Jesus Christ, salvation through Jesus Christ. Everything else is nothing. What is your life? It's a vapor that is appear for a moment and is gone in a second, right? And look at this, right? All these billionaire people of money, people who have money in their bank account, who are able to afford $250,000, are willing to go into this small space, putting their life to go down see something that, after so many years, knowing the story behind it, right, and knowing how Titanic was already done since like the first day. And I gotta say, their first trip, I always made that mistake, because Titanic, you know, it was done on their first trip, not the first day. But like I said, people have their passions and to wishes on, and we have free will, right? You make your choices and all of that. We're not perfect, nothing like that. But all I'm saying is this, right? um you have to learn something from this. Aside the fact that we understand it's terrible what the families are going through. It was terrible. I can pronounce it today. What happened with the Titanic, all of that. And I'm sure, when they were searching and hoping to hear back from the people that were able to be rescued from the Titanic, I'm sure it's almost like the story repeat itself, not with the amount of people that were lost, but kind of like a similar type of thing again. Once again, high ticket thing, high price ticket to go down to see where something ended that basically was in the same type of you know lane, I guess you can say. But going back to Abby Jackson, right? How people were saying how she was missing and all of that. I think that I'm hoping in maybe a couple weeks, Abby Jackson is being interviewed by a big network television that we can hear her insights about this whole thing, right? And the reason that I mentioned Abby is because there was a rumor, like I was saying before, how they were saying how she was missing. And I was about to speak about that, and she's not missing. I'm sure, she just got hired by Ocean Gate. She's posting a lot of footage. She's posting the video of the submarine going down to see the Titanic. Like, are you even allowed to do that? So there's a lot of, people like Abby Jackson is missing. She's not updating her social media. Abby Jackson probably never expected anything like this to happen. And now, she's being, what she has done is being shared with the world because of the tragedy that happened and because the interest on this story. And she has some answers that she has to give to her company. And perhaps there was a confidentiality form that was signed, and she was sharing and sharing and sharing. That's what, like I said, any 22-year-old these days do. We I'm not saying I'm 22, I'm just saying it's about sharing these days. How do you go to see a submarine going down to see the iconic Titanic and not document that when you are hired to document that, right? And perhaps the Ocean Gate probably thought, yeah, no, she's just filming for us. She's gonna share, okay, a little bit. She's a filmmaker, that's what she does. So to clear the rumor, she's not missing. I saw her posting, she's updating her Facebook. She's saying, I'm okay, everyone. And some of her friends are saying she's okay. And she's probably not speaking as much now because everything has been brought up to the surface. And I'm sure there's going to be an interview later on. There's going to, I will have 10,000 questions to ask Abby. Like, are you serious? Like, she was around those people that went there. She knew the mood that was happening. How were they feeling? You filmed them getting in. What kind of footage do you have? What did they say? Were they happy? Were they a little nervous? Were they okay getting in? Did anybody ask for anything specific? So many questions. She had the front row ticket to see their, it's sad to say now, but to see their last moments as they went into this Titan submersible to go see the Titanic, right? But going back to the mom, and the mom of Suleiman, I can only imagine what this woman is going through right now. And it's only been a week, and she's already on BBC giving an interview. And I don't even know if these people are like, if the funeral service has been held yet. And like I said, we have free will. If she feels strong enough to give an interview, then stop. Don't criticize her. People are already bashing her down, saying how she's gonna get on national TV already and giving interviews. Let me tell you, everybody manage things and tragedy differently, and If she feels strong enough to speak on camera already, then that's what she's gonna do. Okay, and also we have to also say something after looking at her interview. It kind of stops a lot of these conspiracy theories that come out when something like this comes into our view, I guess you can say. It kind of clears the record. People will always make assumption if they cannot see the truth, right? If they don't get the truth fast enough in this fast life that we live in, that if you hear about something, you go immediately online to confirm is this actually happening, right? I saw a TikTok, let me confirm it, and you go through other venues to kind of verify it. So to see her come out already and speak, she seems okay. Of course, you see sadness on her. This has only been a week, and it was on Father's. There's so many things, right? And it's not just one person she lost two. Her heart is she lost two people in her life, two people. So I'm sure keep her in your prayers. I gotta say. So I'm gonna read to you a little bit of what she has said in case you don't have the time to come here and see. Hopefully this video doesn't get black. I'll try to put it a little bit with the music so you can see and kind of hear her speak briefly. It says here, she had originally planned to make the trip with her husband because Suleiman was too young at the time. Then I stepped back and gave the space to Suleiman because he really wanted to go. That's what the mom is saying. After a while, Suleiman was, yeah, I'll do it. I actually want to go now. So she said she actually stepped back because he wanted to do it. And she said, quote unquote, I was really happy for them because both of them, meaning the dad and the son, they really wanted to do that for a very long time. You have to understand, nobody wakes up one day and be like, people have been saving for a lifetime just to go down there to see the Titanic. I don't know why, but everybody has their own passions and desires and whatever, and if they can afford it and that's available, okay. To me, in the beginning, when I heard this whole story, I didn't think people that can make that type of money, that have the type of money, like to put their life like that. A lot of people who have the type of money, from what I see in being an entrepreneur, they like to invest. Here's $250,000. Make this the safest submarine ever, and then let me know how it goes 6 months from now, and perhaps maybe in the future I'll go down one day. But to put their money and also their life to go there is kind of rare. That's just my opinion, okay? So let me continue to read here. It says here, she also told the news channel that the 19-year-old was a Rubik's Cube obsessive who took the puzzle which he could solve in 12 seconds with him on the Titan. So he had a Rubik's Cube, I guess, I don't know how long it is to go down there, 12,000 feet below sea level. So to entertain himself. He's the youngest of all of them that were there. Suleiman did not go anywhere without his Rubik's Cube, the mom said, Christine. He said, I'm going to solve the Rubik's Cube 3,700 meters below sea at the Titanic, she added. He was so excited about this, Dawood said, describing how Suleiman taught himself to solve the puzzle using, of course, the YouTube video, YouTube University, it says here. Dabu also spoke of how she met her husband Shazada at the university and recalled how his great curiosity about the world meant he would make the family watch documentaries together. This is what she said, he had this ability of childlike excitement, she said. Dabu recounted the moment that those on board the Polar Prince support vessel, including herself and a 17-year-old daughter, Alina. Okay, so she has a daughter, so that's news to me right now, but she has her daughter with her. She recalled that moment when they were in the Polar Prince support vessel, Alina, uh, support vessel, including her daughter Alina, were told that the staff were no longer able to communicate with the Titan. Wow, what a nightmare, okay? I she said I did not comprehend at that moment what that meant. And then it just went downhill from there. Everyone thought the submersible would resurface, Christine said. There was a lot of hope, of course, right? I think I lost hope when we passed the 96-hour mark. Adding that at that point, she started sending messages to her family. I said, I am preparing for the worst. That's when I lost hope. As for what happens now, Dawood said she doubts she and Alina will ever be able to find closure. Is there such a thing? I don't know, she says. However, the pair have vowed to learn to solve the Rubik's Cube, she added. We promised ourselves we're going to learn it for Suleiman. The family will also work to continue Shahada's work. He was so involved in so many things, that's what the wife says. He helped so many people, and I think I really want to continue that legacy and give him that platform. It's quite important for my daughter as well, she said. I miss them, I really miss them. The Dawoods are from a prominent Pakistani business family. Dawood's Hercules Corporation, their business is among the largest companies in the country, with a portfolio spanning energy, uh, petrochemicals, fertilizers, information technology, and food agriculture. Shazadas and Suleiman joined a voyage on board the Titan submersible, roughly the size of a minivan, to observe the wreck of the Titanic ocean liner, which lies around 12,500 feet below the surface of the North Atlantic. The submersible went missing on June 18, about 1 hour and 45 minutes into its descent to explore the wreckage. On Thursday, debris from the sub was found by search team, indicating that the vessel has suffered a catastrophic implosion, killing all 5 people on board. So, that's the moment in history now. I think like her aunt said, Suleiman and his dad and everybody that was on board that vessel, they're gonna be part of now. They definitely are part now of the Titanic, and because now when you search for Titanic, and 30 years from now when anybody search about the Titanic, they're gonna come across this story that ended so tragically. And like I said, the only thing we can do now, guys, is just pray for the families, and hopefully, they find the peace that they need, and know that at the end of the day, we're really nothing. No money no money or anything can buy you anything in life. All we have, just as we enter the world naked, that's how we live. But we can live this world with Jesus with us, right? Accepting Jesus Christ as your personal Savior is the only thing that's for sure. The only thing that's for sure in this life. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming back to my channel and listening to this. I'll see if I can post a little bit more of her interview. And if you're listening on the podcast, thank you so much for being here. Have a great day, everybody. God bless.
So the sentence, "we lost comm," I think that would be a sentence I would never want to hear in my life. Like lost comm, as in we lost communication. I was sitting downstairs actually, having a snack, or I don't know, I was sitting with people talking, and And then somebody came down and said, we lost comm. And I think I didn't comprehend at that moment what that meant. And then it just went downhill from there. So the first day was when the communication was lost.
You've heard it.
I am living on a boat for the next 2 months because I'm joining this company that does submarine trips down to the Titanic.
For coming back to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe and share this video, and I hope to see you in the next video. Have a great day, everybody. God bless. Hi everybody, this is Julissa. I'm here to invite you to my podcast, Julissa Designs, and it can be found on Anchor, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. You can join me every day as I make episodes of the latest news, real life stories, and I also share my favorite Bible verse. Hope to see you then. God bless. Everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much for coming to my YouTube channel. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. And if you want to know more about me, you can always visit www.julissadesigns.com. Have a great day, everybody. God bless.